What about your Week 4 winners this week?
Well, I got a couple of guys that really stood out for me. And Zach Wilson's numbers weren't fantastic as the quarterback of the Jets, but boy, I'll tell you what, he drove them when he had to. And in his first game back, that's impressive for a young quarterback to drive them to the winning points late in the game at Pittsburgh, which is not easy to do. I thought he was really good. He only completed 50% of his passes, but for the first game back against that defense on the road, kudos to him. And remember, he played well late last season, so this is a good sign of things that might be to come for the New York Jets. Justin Jefferson got him back on track. That was important. 10 catches, 147 yards, and he ran one in. Didn't catch a touchdown pass, but this is what the Vikings need to do. Get him the ball. He's a game changer, and we saw that against the Saints. And then the Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel. Look, they're the same team every year under this guy. They go to Buffalo and get whacked. He comes back, gets them refocused. They win a game at home against the Raiders. Then they go on the road and serve notice to the rest of the division. Hey, we're not going away. We beat the Colts at Indy. We do it in our usual style. They take on the personality of their coach. They're tough, they're physical, and they will be around at the end. So kudos to Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans.
Titans 11-2 as you can see in the AFC South since 2020. So as you mentioned there, Pete, getting back on track. What about your Week 4 winners here, Rick?
Yeah, if you look at my winners here, the first one I think is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And why I say that is because they made the switch from Trubisky to Pickett. And when you watch Pickett and then you watch Pickens, there's going to be a Pickett-Pickens combination coming up that's going to be very productive this week. Can you say that, Pete, 3 times? But the interesting thing is when you watched Pickett play, he was accurate with the ball. He put the ball in place where you see Pickens make some great catches. The 3 interceptions, the one was at the end of the game where it was a Hail Mary. But when we were watching it on the screen and you felt the energy through the screen we were watching it with the fans, and you can see the body language of the players of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they know that this kid's the future and that they have to go with him. Now they got a tough matches ahead. Again, they're playing the Bills, the Bucks, the Dolphins, and the Eagles. It'll be interesting to see if Tomlin stays with him. And then T.J. Hockenson and what he did. Swift was out. Chark was out. St. Brown was out. But he came in and filled that gap. And just think when they get Jamison Williams in this offense as well. And Jamal Williams filled in nice for Swift yesterday. But they have to this is a Pro Bowl type tight end. They have to keep it going with him. And I agree with Pete on Zach Wilson. He didn't have the great numbers, but when it counted in the fourth quarter, he truly showed the grit, the toughness. He had 2 long touchdown drives that helped them win the game. And he made plays with his feet. He was patient. And this is why they drafted him in the second overall pick 2 years ago.
Wilson and company, of course, getting just their second win in 12 visits. They also broke out Pete's favorite dance to gritty there we saw from Wilson. Pete, Week 4 losers there. Your old stomping grounds maybe leading the way?
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars came in as the top-ranked run defense in the league, and the whole talk was they would be able to stop the Eagles and put it on Jalen Hurts. Well, they didn't stop the Eagles, and the Eagles ran for 210 rushing yards. That's not very good, and this reminded me of a game I warned people about it last year. The Saints went into Philly. They were the #1 run defense in the league, and they got run on for over 200 yards. It's tough to prepare for that offense, and Jacksonville has to be better again against the run. They will be, but it's tough to prepare for that Eagles running game. Jonathan Taylor, look, he's not running the football very well. I know he got dinged up in this game. He came in with an ankle injury, but they are not getting the run game going. 20 carries, 42 yards, it's just not good enough. And for the Colts to have Matt Ryan throw for 385 yards and lose the game, that shouldn't happen. And then you got the Detroit Lions defense. They're on pace to be the worst defense of all time. Their offense is scoring points at an amazing clip, and yet they can't stop anybody. They're terrible on defense. If they don't fix that, they're not going to win a lot of games.
Defense leading the way for you, Pete, there, as you can see the Detroit Lions. Rick, I feel like that's the same thing for you when it comes to your Week 4 losers.
Yeah, no, my first loser was the Baltimore Ravens. And 2 games this year, they've had leads of 17 or more points, and they blew them, and they were both at home. And we hyped up this game about two MVP quarterbacks going at it. And then the big question was, at the end of the game with 4 minutes left to go, do you take the points? And Harbaugh elected to not kick the field goal. Lamar Jackson threw the interception, gave the ball back to Josh Allen with 4 minutes to go, which is a bad thing to do. And he took him down for the game-winning field goal. The Chicago Bears offense, my God. Justin Fields set a world record with 11 completions yesterday for the season, so we're making a lot of progress there. But you can tell they ignored this offense during the offseason about getting help around him, and now it's showing up through the first 4 weeks of the season. And Baker Mayfield, what a situation Carolina is. He has looked inept in this offense. They can't score points. Watching him yesterday, it was just brutal because there's no rhythm to their offense. And then Matt Rule, how hot is his seat going to get? And does he have to make a decision between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold? And what kind of decision is that?
I mean, there's P.J. Walker there, too. We keep forgetting P.J. Walker is there with Carolina. No, I'm kidding, of course.
P.J. Walker is the size of Pete.
You hear this, Pete? He's on fire on Monday.
I can read the defense, though. I can find the open receiver. Don't worry about me.
Pete Prisco, QB1. We love to see that. As always, the fellas tapping in Rick Spielman as well, wrapping up week 4. Hey, don't forget the Pick Six podcast. The guys doing the same there with Will Brinson, John Breach, and Ryan Wilson. Interesting week 4 there. The Buffalo Bills still won on the road. The Eagles fly, stay undefeated, and Patrick Mahomes put on a show in Tampa Bay for Sunday Night Football. Download and give them a follow.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.